Now to politics. The Ondo State Governor and one of the aspirants for the All Progressives Congress governorship ticket, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, has expressed confidence that he remains the candidate to beat in the November off-season election in the state. He made the declaration shortly after he was cleared for the April 20 party primary by the 7-man screening committee led by former Deputy Governor of Gombe State, Joshua Lidani. Aiyedatiwa said allegations surrounding his West African Secondary School certificate has been clarified before the screening committee, which certified him eligible for the race. Aiyedatiwa maintains that he will win the party's primary given his performance since his assumption of office and commitment to peace in Ondo State chapter of the APC. Let's discuss this some more. We're joined by legal practitioner Okiki Adeniran. Okiki Adeniran, good evening. It's good to see you and have you on the news this evening. Before we start, just kindly unmute your device so we can hear you and proceed with the conversation.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Let's start by asking you, in your opinion, how significant is Lucky Aiyedatiwa's confidence? You know, he sounds very confident in his strength and his position ahead of the APC Ondo governorship primary.
Yeah, thank you for having me again. I believe that Governor Aiyedatiwa's confidence is actually very needed. You know, I'll give an example, and the example is just, you know, I believe we all know the example. It's an example of David in the Bible, and when David was going to kill Goliath, you know, David told Goliath that, you know what I'm going to do to you, I'm going to kill you, cut your head, and, you know, feed it to the birds of the air. You know, so what Governor Aiyedatiwa has been saying that he will win the election is actually good. You know, it's so significant. It has strengthened his campaign, and I'm so sure that even his opponents are not. They are confused at the moment because, you know, how else can you let your enemy, or I mean your opponent, you know, get to know that you're serious about what you're doing, other than to let them know by what you say and by what you do. So I believe strongly that it is very significant. Governor Aiyedatiwa has said it, that he's going to win this primary election. And, you know, let's see how it goes. I believe as things unfold, we'll see and we'll know what will happen next.
Interesting. What impact do you think the clearance of Aiyedatiwa by the screening committee will have on the state of the race ahead of the primary?
Well, the impact, I believe that, you know, Governor Aiyedatiwa, this is not his first time, and this is the second time it will be screened. I believe that, you know, the first time when he appeared with his late boss, there was no issue. There were no issues at all. You know, he was cleared and was screened, and, you know, things were done properly. And I believe that right now that, you know, the issue of screening, the issue of certificates is coming up. It's basically because of the political opponents, and, you know, you cannot take that away from politics. Most importantly, your opponents will always look for a loophole to get you out of the race. And you know, at this point, I think I should say a big congratulations to Governor Aiyedatiwa, having been screened by the APC National Working Committee and being certified to, you know, contest the primary election. Most importantly, the impact on the election, you know, is so sure that, you know, the opponents, as I said before, is that they're going to probably be, you know, be in a disarray at this moment, and thinking that, you know, this election, if they're not, you know, careful, probably go the way of Governor Aiyedatiwa.
Talking about his WAEC certificate, what is your opinion on the governor's response regarding this allegation?
Well, basically, just straightforward, let me say, Governor Aiyedatiwa has said it. You know, he said in his speech that, you know what, he has explained himself, how he came about the results that, you know, he presented to the screening committee, and how the issue came about, how he moved from one school to another, how he got to Kose High School, you know, and we will not take away this fact that the issues do happen, things do happen. But, you know, when we have history and we can go back in time to, let people know what has happened. I believe that, we should take and give a benefit of doubt, to the person that has said what it is. And, one of the things he said was that you can, approach WAEC and ask them questions. It's open. It's so clear. There's no need for one to be, trying to say things that are not true. Assumption and all should not be entertained. In this case, if it has been said, he has said it himself. There are records, that parties can go and look at. Then there's no issue. The WAEC results, he has said, is authentic. He has presented the authentic results to the screening committee. Then I believe that there's no need for us to overflow the issue. Let the man contest, and let's see who wins.
All right. Considering Aiyedatiwa's emphasis on his performance and commitment to peace, how likely is he to secure victory of the party's primary? We hear that the base, some have insinuated that the base of his predecessor and former boss, Akeredolu, the supporters...
Sorry, can you say that again? I didn't hear you clearly.
Yeah, some are insinuating that the support base of his former boss, Akeredolu, they don't see him as legitimate, and they're turning their attention to someone else. He might not really enjoy that widespread support in the party. So looking at his performance, do you think he stands a chance to secure victory based on some of these reports of lack of support from Aiyedatiwa's, Akeredolu's supporters for him?
You agree with me that this issue has been since even before Governor Akeredolu, former Governor Akeredolu died. It's open, and there's been issues. There's been a lot of issues that they posed to him, and that he has actually tried to push back. I understand the fact that from the side of the former governor, he might not be supported. And as a matter of fact, you remember that at the time when he was coming up, as the acting governor, there were issues against him. There were issues against him to the extent that some parties didn't want him to, assume the office of the governor of the state until when the issue that happened, happened. And I'll say, plainly here that politics is politics. It's a game of numbers. I'm so sure that the sitting governor, Governor Aiyedatiwa, is playing his game very well. And I'm certain, just like he has said, he's a sitting governor. I've not heard of one, except one in Lagos that happened, that has not won a primary election, even as a sitting governor. So I believe that there are issues, there are things going on at the background that that Governor Aiyedatiwa has rested on, and is sure that coming by the time the primary election will be holding, he will win the election. So like I said before, you can be sure that some quarters will not support him. And like I said, it's a game of numbers. I'm certain that as we continue, as he continues to campaign and try to consult party leaders and party members, there will be a lot of people that will support him. Based on, like you said, and you've asked the question, based on what he has done, based on his achievements, within the space that he became the governor of the state, and even when he was deputy governor, he's not new in the game. And I believe that based on the fact that he's not new in the game, he knows what to do. He knows how to play the game and to get the victory.
Okiki, it's good to hear from you. Thank you so very kindly for your time tonight, Okiki Adeniran, lawyer, legal practitioner. Appreciate it.